Siodiw Shiaght Laa as Baviliam Shiwa Shaltacha. She Robert de Carslach Mish. I'm Bob Carswell, and I'd like to welcome you to this programme, Shiaght Laa. In Shiaght Laa this week on Shiaght Laa in Chruinnaght, Laa Luanys as Luanistyn. We've arrived at a day and a month associated with a Celtic god, although that's now hidden by the association of this new month with the Roman Emperor Augustus. Crevis Gol, what's going on in the island in the next week? As Círti Dynal in Erich, and recent visitors to the island. This evening, Thursday the 1st of August, the Parish of Russian Summer Concert at 7:30 in the Yn Arts Centre is with the Laa Luanys Ladies Choir, with their conductor Christine Brigazzi. There's no admission charge, there'll be a retiring collection. It's also coming up to the final week of the exhibition in the Yn Arts Centre, an exhibition called Shape, with the work of Rob Jones, who makes large sculptures from metals with a variety of shapes and textures that have been discarded, and he gives them a new purpose through his artwork. And the work of fine art photographer Sarah Callow, who's often drawn by the way the natural lines of the landscape have been altered by human activity, and she's interested in the shapes and forms in the built and in the natural environment as they're fleetingly affected by the changing light and weather. The Yn Arts Centre Gallery is open from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. from Tuesday to Friday, and their work can also be seen when events are taking place. The exhibition will be closing on Friday the 9th of August. There's an opportunity to view the Shape exhibition this evening with the Laa Luanys Ladies Choir concert in the Yn Arts Centre, and also tomorrow evening, Friday the 2nd of August, when the Isle of Man Poetry Society presents an open mic night in Harry's Bar in the Yn Arts Centre, and that's from 8 o'clock with hosts Hazel Tier, Bethany DeLay Runciman, Paul Butler and Sarah Lockyer. All are welcome to come along and enjoy the evening, with doors opening at 7:30. Entry is £3 per person, but you'll need to have that with you in cash. If you'd like to take part and recite some poetry, you'll need to book a slot by getting in touch with the organisers by emailing poetry@manxcat.org.uk, Manxcat all the one word, poetry@manxcat.org.uk. And you'll be able to get a slot of up to 3 minutes to present your poetry at that Isle of Man Poetry Society open mic night at the Yn Arts Centre tomorrow evening, Friday the 2nd of August. Returning to this evening, though, Thursday the 1st of August, the Isle of Man Arts Council Summer Concerts in the Arts in the Arcade programme continues in the Villa Marina Arcade in Douglas at 8 o'clock with the Douglas Town Band. This Sunday afternoon, the 4th of August, at 3 o'clock, there'll be a concert in the Villa Marina Arcade given by Manx Concert Brass. It's free admission to all of the Arts Council summer concerts in the Arts in the Arcade programme. Tashin na chorcion Yn Chruinnaght feed chidas ceres feed Erich, as son an elia shen ta quira courage slide the hit by chirach and elia the goil arn, Yorish Clyciol as goiler ren as Yorish Downson. Gesolerish feilig and elia to gol cummelt and Chruinnacht beg the lure for the ach ons ach shen cor van deiston, the lotrish light on shaw, the hit the way einjesachru. Verkeer dus lotrish pert de live on shaw son on Chruinnacht, as hielsje de voires en nien van shaw as of retain on Shiaght Laa Hirs Jerry, Brigitte as Catel Cloareg, or Shawnish Tullu Círti Denelia. We had a great week of Yn Chruinnacht from Monday the 22nd of July through to Sunday the 28th of July, and what makes Yn Chruinnacht special is the opportunity to sit and talk with people, as well as to swap songs and tunes and stories. Amongst those performing this year was a duo called Tarmac. One of the members, James Green, is actually from Port St Mary. Linda and Andy Green are regular Chruinnacht goers, and their son James is a fiddle and guitar player, while Suzie Wilcox plays banjo and guitar. And both of them sing as soloists and provide harmonies for each other. And I caught up with James and Suzie on Peel Promenade. As the duo Tarmac, you're here playing at Yn Chruinnaght and at Peel Seafest. So how did that come about?
We sent an email to John from the Manx Folk podcast, just with it's with some links to our music really. And we're saying, is there anything going on the island we could be a part of? And he forwarded us on to Chloe, who got us involved really.
Your mum and dad have been regulars at Yn Chruinnaght for 1 or 2 years, I would say. I'm sure you probably were dragged along as a youth yourself.
I think I was, yeah. But it's nice to come and play. Yeah.
So you're normally playing down now in the Brighton area, but you include Manx music in your repertoire. So how does that go down, particularly singing in Manx Gaelic?
Yeah, it goes down really well actually. I think a lot of people are just completely unaware that there's kind of anything from the island or where it is, and people think it's the Isle of Wight a lot. So it just gets really well received, and and there's got a few good sessions on in Brighton, and it's quite nice to bring Manx tunes to those as well.
Oh, right.
And we were playing at a festival, Bathway in Somerset, a couple of weeks ago, and we were sitting outside in the dark around a campfire. James started singing some Manx songs, which normally people listen to, but people don't know the words. And just kind of from the darkness around the campfire, a few other Manx voices came in singing. So there were lots of people around the fire who also knew these songs, and it was amazing, right? We don't normally get that interaction. It was great.
Yeah. Your repertoire is fairly eclectic, though, isn't it? Where do you collect your songs from?
It's a bit of everything, really. Kind of things we pick up from other folkies along the way, and just anything that's resonated. We're trying not to be too picky, and it's just if we like it, we'll give it a go. Yeah.
And one of the songs you sang earlier on was from a friend of yours from in the Brighton area, wasn't it, Beth?
Yeah. So it's an old English folk song. There's a lot of different versions of it out of there. Mostly quite minory. Some quite famous people have done versions of it. I think Lankham most recently have got really big. They did a famous version of it. But yeah, this version, which is much more bright and majory, is we collected from a friend of ours called Beth Gold, who just made a beautiful version of it, really. Yeah.
So what are your plans now? You've got the rest of the summer to go. I'm sure you've got plenty of things to be going to on the way.
Yeah, we're kind of regretting we didn't book another week just to stay here in Peel, to be honest. It's a shame to leave. But we're playing at Broadstairs Folk Festival in Kent in a couple of weeks.
And then in Brighton a little bit as well for the rest of the summer. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much indeed. We've enjoyed your music. Got away more you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
James Green and Suzie Wilcox, who were here playing for Yn Chruinnaght and for Peel Seafest. I also met up with 2 people attending Yn Chruinnaght, and they come from a perhaps more unexpected area.
Hi, I'm Delia. I'm from Switzerland, from the French part of it. And I came together with Elettra as a gift for her 30th birthday this year.
Oh, right.
It was my idea because she was 13 and we met at a Celtic festival, at a Celtic camp in Switzerland 15 years ago.
So a Celtic camp in Switzerland then, what's the background of that?
It was Swiss musicians that played Celtic music, and they organized that for children and teenagers in Switzerland.
To discover Irish folk music and have a grasp of the culture, and therefore Delia just invited me over to the festival here, and we thought,
she chose.
I chose the festival.
How was it that you actually have come to the Chruinnaght this year?
So we didn't know a lot about Celtic folk festivals, and we had to look on the internet. And I checked different festivals, and I saw that this one was on the Isle of Man, and I had to look at pictures on Google. I checked a bit the artist, and I was like, that sounds really a nice, small, but very folky festival, and I thought we should check it out, and therefore we are here on the Isle of Man with you at the time being. So,
yep. So how have you found the festival then since you've been here?
beautiful, amazing, and the people were very welcoming with us.
I think it was a wonderful experience because I think the quality, the level of artists here are just brilliant, really brilliant artists. There's a great atmosphere, a lot of different activities, different Celtic music being celebrated, and therefore we're really happy to be part of the celebration. And we got to meet a lot of different people, and as Delia said, everybody was really welcoming, and we got to learn some Manx tunes, so that was nice too.
Right. So you've got some Manx tunes and you've got some of the Manx language to take back with you as well. Have you been doing any of the classes for that?
I haven't been taking the classes, so outside from Evi and Slant, not too much.
Too right. Yes, well, you're very welcome, and may we see you soon here again.
Thank you.
Good
Yeah, we would love that. See you next year.
Got a mind more you. Two attendees from Switzerland, Livia and Alexa, who found Yn Chruinnaght online, liked the sound of it, came along and thoroughly enjoyed themselves. There'll be more from Yn Chruinnaght a little later on. Ta sin jitgus yn tre edr de hachert as ta imbach nog o toiacht. Jew and Chiadledge and vi seo sé Laa Luanistyn, na Laa Luanistyn, as den vi seo en misich mi Luanistyn. Te chit red edder an sias grenia sauri, tret an green jitgus yn nynit surgex a spare, as vishen an Chiadle as feed main sauri, labach och altrish G mannen and maclear ons manning, as a cormid tre fower, tret an nie as an le golrish an tre chedin, lie as lie, vis tachert mush an Chiadle as feed main fower. Va mi greid an mi Luanistyn te enam a vi seo, ach de jaro de menig wil gilgern chit der na megen rer an imbach waan, as chit oru mar an hidvi, a navi, as an trasvi jen imbach shen. Rer an ach shen, enam elia ter mi Luanistyn, wel zacht han enam tori ach kunta gergi, shen an hidvi jen jouwer. Ten English an jenu laje, de eilige fower vers hit. Fuddy der awi chit wai kleach de shinna paganach, seo van mare de goilen hid wunne de chornach avi, as de vlaine greinen, as de jenu bwilien gentro no. Rawi kleach de paganach na din, van English kummel shirwe sherlie de vanige willien seo, as ons een chan verl, henk enema so, an chlafmas, a shende grey erin a willien. As henk chlafmas, sa chan verl, de ve lamas. The Celtic god Lugh is sometimes regarded as a sun god, perhaps because of its association with the harvest, but he's been looked on as a warrior, a king, a master craftsman with many sets of skills, a magician, and skilled at the arts. The Manx word to swear an oath is Lugh, and it's possible that the name of the god is derived from that he's associated with the taking of oaths and maintaining the truth and the law. And Laa Luanys, or Laa Luanistyn, the 1st of August, is the day for celebrating him, possibly on his betrothal, but also because he arranged a series of sports and other events for the funeral of his foster mother, who died as a result of her hard agricultural labour. And so whatever sort of god he may have been, Lugh was associated with the harvest. However, this was also traditionally a day when hand fasting was carried out, and people could enter trial marriages for a year and a day, and marry if it worked out, or separate without penalty if not. But here in the island, this was taken to be a day when people would go to the hills, not so much to enjoy themselves as, well, to enjoy each other. This is a presentment to the ecclesiastical court by the vicar and wardens of Kirk Lonnan from 1732. There is a superstitious and wicked custom, which is yearly continued, and practised in this and the neighbouring parishes by many young people, and some of riper years, going to the top of Snaefell Mountain, where, as they're informed, they behave themselves very rudely and indecently for the greater part of that day. Well, the origin is probably in some sort of fertility ritual in celebration of the ripening crops, but apparently it was a custom that kept going even into the 20th century in the Isle of Man. Perhaps it's still going on. Nig dyn gol bacchus yn Chruinnaght Rhys, ys fedden mach mych iawn tulius live on Shaw Molina. Chiel sy'n Livia as Alexa as an Elvish, as henk mi gweil Dev en Elia va cion fenishach, henk mach de rawad all achrish downsvanning Hannah. About 10 years ago, a dance group visited the island from Massachusetts, where they perform Manx dances. The group is called And Sometimes Why. And there were 2 visitors to Yn Chruinnaght this year who dance with And Sometimes Why, but hadn't been with the party when they came here. So they decided they would come this year and find out for themselves at Yn Chruinnaght. And I was able to find out more from Fiona and Anna. How is it you've come to Yn Chruinnaght Festival this year?
Well, we took a plane over, if you want to be literal. But we grew up folk dancing in the U.S., in Massachusetts and Pennsylvania states. Mm-hmm. And we were looking for amazing things to do this summer, and we started dreaming. Mm-hmm. And we looked up all the festivals we could go to, and the Isle of Man seemed like a good fit. And we're so happy we're here.
It was pure chance then. You stuck a pin in the list and came up with Yn Chruinnaght.
Well, where I'm from in Massachusetts, there's a team of dancers, mostly all teenagers, who have been doing Manx dances for several years now. There's a couple of people from where I'm from who had connections to the Isle of Man and started this team in maybe 2012 or so. And since then, we've been doing dances, and a group of them came over and visited in 2014 and had a fabulous time and met many of the members of Perry Ben and the other teams here on the island. And since then, it's been a wonderful community of people celebrating Manx culture and dancing. And it was a great opportunity to be able to come over here and see it for myself, since I missed that trip, and get to meet everybody and experience the music and the dance where it belongs, in the Isle of Man. I grew up in the western part of the state, which is much more the countryside and less in the city. And there we have several Morris teams doing English dancing and lots of contra dancing, which is an American social dance. And we have some clog dancing as well from England, and a lot of, I would say, Celtic musicians as well. And there is a great deal of Irish music happening in Boston, and a great deal of an Irish population there as well. But there's lots of different Celtic dances, I would say, that are done throughout New England as well. There's a strong community in Boston and Washington, D.C., and New York, and up in Toronto, and Burlington in Vermont. There are strong communities that do lots of different Celtic traditions. Anna could tell you more.
Yeah, I'm sure you're the Pennsylvania end of the...
The Pennsylvania end. Yes, but I always wanted to move to New England because that was the space where I felt like I could really dive into playing fiddle music and dancing more. Currently, one of the more popular dances that's catching on is ball folk dancing. So I've been doing a lot more. Both of us have been really getting into a lot more of the French dancing and Italian dancing. And so we recently went up to Montreal in Canada so that we could go to one of their ball folks. And we have dreams of starting our own weekend. I mean, I'm saying it now so that we'll really do it. But that we have dreams of next year doing something. In Vermont, there's a growing ball folk scene in Brattleboro. And so we've been lucky enough to go a couple of times. And we're hoping that it will catch on in Boston, too.
And you brought your fiddle with you. Have you had much chance to play?
Well, I actually didn't even fly with the fiddle, but I was able to source the fiddle yesterday, and I'm so happy about it. So yesterday I started playing a little bit to get my fingers back into it, and today I'm excited to go to all of the sessions, and just went to the Duncan Chisholm class, and that was so cool. We actually were meant to leave on Friday, and we spent one full day here on Wednesday, and we were like, we have to change our plans, and we need to stay all the way till the end. So we're leaving tomorrow now, and we don't regret it at all.
It was the best decision.
If I go to my moyo, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Fiona from Western Massachusetts, and Anna currently in Pennsylvania, but hoping to move shortly. And they were here for Yn Chruinnaght last week, and as you heard, they rearranged their travel plans so that they could stay longer. With support from Culture Éireann, Yn Chruinnaght was able to bring over a party of 7 from Ireland, including musicians and singers, and a dancer in the Shiaght Laa style, a style of Irish dancing where the arms are allowed to swing and there's a lot of stepping which has similarities to some styles of clog dancing, tap dancing, buck and wing, in fact. The group calls itself the Len Collective, and I spoke with some of their members.
We've known each other probably since we were 7 or 8, 9 years of age. We were all in a music group together when we were younger, and we've been playing music together for years. We're all in our mid to late 20s, 30s now, so we've been playing together for years, and it just kind of made sense. We saw people doing gigs and going to festivals and stuff, so we just decided we'll put a name on ourselves and then we might be able to go and do gigs, and that's exactly what we've done, and we've just been offered lots of gigs, made an Instagram page and social media, and since then we've just been doing lots of gigs. We play lots of music together anyway, and it's just putting a name on ourselves kind of made it more official, right. And we've just put a bit more structure to things, and that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah. So where's your usual haunts then that you get together and play?
Mostly the Cobblestone in Dublin. We usually practice upstairs. That's where we meet for our practices or cups of tea, and then also the Piper's Corner in Marlborough Street in Dublin as well. We have a gig there every Thursday, a session that we do every Thursday there.
Yeah, now you mentioned the Cobblestone, though. You better explain a bit more about the Cobblestone, because it's a fairly... It was in danger, wasn't it, not that long ago?
It was. So the landlord threatened to build a 9-storey hotel on it, and I'd be a bit biased because it's my family's pub, but we all came together and we had people protesting out in the streets to try to save it because it was in danger of being knocked down and turned into a 9-storey hotel. And it's a lot more than just a pub, really. It's kind of like a bit of a cultural centre. There's singing classes, set dancing classes, there's Irish language classes, there's lots of stuff going on, lots of people practising, using upstairs rooms and stuff for practising and stuff. So but the protesting worked, and the objections that we all wrote to Dublin City Council worked, and the planning was pulled. So at the moment it's a bit of a question mark, but for now it's safe. As far as we know. I'll say no more.
No. So, I mean, here you are at Yn Chruinnaght this year, but have you been getting out and about to other festivals very much?
We have. So far this year we've been to the Willie Clancy in Milltown Malbay, and I also went down to the Joe Mooney Summer School in Drumshambo. So they're all Irish music festivals, and then there's a few other just music festivals in Ireland that I'll be going to all together now, an electric picnic as well, and playing a bit of music at them. So,
So I mean, some of you have been. You were saying you were in Lorient.
So I myself I was there in 2016, but other members of the band have been there many more times than me. So we tend to go over and we work with the Irish contingent as security. So we mightn't look that buff, but we man the accommodation and make sure that nobody comes in and steals all the instruments from the musicians. So that's the job that we have when we go over. It's great. It's a great festival in Laa and a great chance to meet people from different Celtic nations, just like this. And Chruinnaght, it's been great to get to know people from different Celtic nations who share a similar culture. And yeah, Lorian's always great fun. Don't think...
It was actually myself and Sarah were over last year, and that's where we met all the Manx girls. We met Chloe, and Chloe had actually just been over to Dublin like the previous week and met Shiaght and her dad. They visited their schools. So that's how we made the connection, and then I told them that we have a band, and and the rest is history, and now we're here.
You also include Shiaght Laa's dancing. The Cobblestone has been a centre for the Shiaght Laa's dancing now. So is that, where did you come to learn it?
It was actually in the Cobblestone with my cousin Maeve, who's also in the Len Collective. We started off, I remember actually Maeve was dancing. It was one Christmas Day she came down to my house and she through a few steps, and I remember looking at her and thinking, I want to do that. So I asked her where we could go, and she said the back room of the Cobblestone. So that's actually where we started. And Shiaght Laa, she was actually one of our first teachers. So Shiaght went off travelling then for a while. So I was actually fortunate that my dad would bring me to festivals all around Ireland, so I had lots of different teachers, and a lot of it was just learned through recording and stuff like that. But I have to give credit to Siobhan. She was the one who started both myself and Maeve off on our journey there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, compared with most of the festivals you've been to, I'm sure that this is quite small, but how have you found the island since you've been here?
Oh, it's beautiful. I think just all positive things really all around, we have to say. I think just getting a taste of other kind of Celtic traditions and even their culture. Like, we've heard a bit about the Isle of Man, but it's only until you actually go and see the place, and when you're actually just immersed in it and you meet the people and see their passion for it as well, that's nearly another kind of element to it. So I think this is our first time, but certainly not our last time. So, yeah.
Oh, got to mind more, yeah? The Len Collective from Ireland, who were here last week for Yn Chruinnaght. News about some more music to enjoy on the week now. And the Isle of Man Arts Council presents a free lunchtime concert from 1 till 2 on Wednesday the 7th of August, when David Redfern will be playing the Villa Marina Arcade's Wurlitzer. On Wednesday evening, the programme of summer concerts continues in St Thomas's Church at 7:45, with Simon Fletcher, Jenny Derbyshire and Gareth Moore. Admission to the concert is free, there are refreshments served afterwards, and there'll be a retiring collection. The Groves Museum of Victorian Life in Ramsey presents Magical Worlds in Miniature, Doll's House Display, and that can be seen there in the Groves from 12 to 4:30 each day until the 14th of August. And the Derby Mice can be seen in a series of tableaux in Derby Church each day between 10 and 4, displaying a year in the life of Isabella Victoria Rose. As Shiaght Laa Shiaght Laa. That's it for now from Shiaght Laa. From me, Bob Carswell, Swampeen, Robert de Carslach, Sled New.